Hey everyone, I just wanted to put a little announcement here before the video starts to advertise that my Etsy shop is currently online and active, and I've got lots of fan art products up there, including a Good Omens print. So if you want to support my art, that would be awesome. Go check it out if you're within US or Canada, because I can only ship to those two countries right now. And right now, if you use code BNUT at checkout, that's code BEANUT, same way it's spelled in my YouTube name, you can get 20% off your entire order for the next 30 days. That's code BEANUT for 20% off on my Etsy shop. That's etsy.com/shop/FreshSqueezedNL. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. Before I begin this video, I'd like to put a disclaimer here that I will be discussing spoilers for Good Omens Season 2. So if you don't wish to be spoiled, then please feel free to sit this one out, and maybe check out another one of my videos instead. If you're still here, then please, I'm begging you, don't be upset with me when you get the show spoiled by watching this video. It's your own damn fault, okay? Legally, you can't be mad at me because I put this disclaimer here. I have a lot of thoughts about Good Omens Season 2. It's kind of a mixed bag for me. There's things I like, things I don't, and I guess my overall opinion is that they didn't really need a Season 2, and, you know, that's kind of apparent in several ways. But this video isn't about whether or not Season 2 was needed, this is about something else. I can say with the utmost certainty that the fandom was grateful to see our favorite Bible fanfiction back on the screen. We got to see new and familiar faces alike, and oh my god, there were so many flashbacks, and these flashbacks are honestly like my favorite thing about this season. They were really well done and really great ways to learn more about these characters. However, what I somehow didn't expect to get from Good Omens Season 2 was the writers making not one, but both of the most popular ships canon in the span of one episode. And along with that, what shocked me most was that the main ship, the most popular ship, did in fact not get to be happy. Which is crazy to me, seeing that the first season ended so nicely and wrapped things up like with a little bow on top, Aziraphale and Crowley always having their odd little relationship and just being content with each other. But nope, Good Omens 2 just had to take that away from us. No more ineffable husbands, no more ineffable wives, no more ineffable partners, just ineffable bureaucracy. Which I'm not complaining about, by the way. I think Gabriel and Beelzebub are adorable. It just feels wrong to let them be happy and not the literal main characters whose friendship has defied all odds and spanned thousands of years even before the beginning. Their strong relationship is what made it so heartbreaking when Aziraphale chose a job over staying with Crowley and being their own little corner of the world, even when Crowley pulls out all the stops to convince Aziraphale to stay, and even then, he's not enough to convince Aziraphale. Naturally, fans like myself questioned Aziraphale's actions in the final episode, feeling it was out of character of him to completely miss Crowley's point and choose heaven over, well, Crowley. Fans turned to theorizing the reason why Aziraphale could have acted this way, a popular one arising under the name Coffee Theory. I'll go into detail about it in a second, that is, after all, what this video is about, but I do believe it's a poor explanation for the narrative, and is a gross misrepresentation and oversimplification of Aziraphale's complex character arc. Coffee Theory, at its core, ignores the traits that make Aziraphale a unique and multidimensional character, chalking his choice up to the will of a corrupt higher power. I argue there's a better way to picture the events of the final episode, with a theory fans have been calling lie theory. I do want to clarify that I'm not the creator of either of these theories, and this video is merely a comparison of the two and an explanation of why I personally favor one over the other. These theories were found on TikTok, so I suggest looking there for more information on either of these theories, and also to support the creators that came up with them. Coffee Theory posits, in most basic terms, that Aziraphale has been brainwashed by Heaven, more directly by Megatron. This is post-editing BNUT, and I just want to make a note here that I do call Megatron for the whole video. I'm so sorry. I wish I had an excuse, but I'm just a dumb idiot. So sorry if that ruins your experience watching this video. I know it's Metatron. I just misspelled it for the entire scripting of this video, so I proceeded to call him Megatron. All that being said, let's get into it now. And this is why he wishes to return to heaven and fails to understand Crowley's points. This theory begins with the evidence that Megatron orders coffee for Aziraphale with almond flavoring added. There are 2 points here. A. Megatron recognizes that Aziraphale has an affinity for human food despite not needing to eat. We know this. This allows Megatron to give Aziraphale a gift that is comforting and that he won't refuse. And B. He orders almond flavoring, which is supposedly known to mask the taste of cyanide poisoning. That was something that I learned in a TikTok comment, and I searched everywhere to find it again, but I can't find it. I have a feeling the comment was deleted or removed for some reason, but it was on the video that I'm showing on screen right here. The comment was on that video, I just can't find the comment again. The second point requires a bit more explanation. We know from the scene in the cemetery that poison has an intense intoxicating effect on demons, so it can be reasoned here that cyanide may have a similar effect on angels, perhaps making them susceptible to manipulation and easily influenced. Not only do I think this point is a stretch, I also feel it's too specific to make sense. This TikTok states that because the scene cuts awkwardly in the scene where Megatron orders coffee, it could indicate that Megatron adds something to the cup, specifically cyanide. I think this is an overanalysis of the scene and could be better explained by imperfect editing, because despite what you may think, no director is perfect and the scenes could have simply been edited together poorly. My bigger complaints with Coffee Theory come from the scene itself. Coffee Theory truthers posit that because Aziraphale has trouble understanding Crowley's point, which is that neither of them have anything to benefit from returning to heaven, it reasonably follows that Aziraphale has been brainwashed. In addition, this quote-unquote evidence suggests that Aziraphale is acting out of character in the scene, being far too enamored by the prospect of leaving Earth and his human belongings behind. I also felt this way, until looking at it from another perspective. I'll try to discuss this without getting too far from the point, but we know that Crowley used to be an angel, presumably a rather high-status one, as he was tasked with creation of a sector of the universe and has access to Gabriel's file in heaven. Therefore, it would follow that, even as a demon, he doesn't have such a black and white, good and evil view on the world. Crowley doesn't do things because hell wants him to, nor because heaven doesn't want him to. He does what is right. He rescues Job's children because it's right, and in the previous season, he stops Armageddon because it's right. He has a moral compass that is unaffected by the powers of heaven or hell because, whether consciously or not, he has experienced both sides. Aziraphale is the opposite. He has a rather black and white view of people, always being careful to say that Crowley is good or nice. These are the things that matter to him. If we follow the assumption that Megatron did indeed offer Aziraphale the opportunity to bring Crowley back to heaven and return him to his former grace, then Aziraphale would see this as a chance to redeem Crowley's nature. Yes, Crowley has always been good in his eyes, but heaven didn't agree, only seeing him as a demon. It's not that Aziraphale wants to return to heaven, but that he wants to have a comfortable life with Crowley, free of judgment and fear to hide from either side. This is the true reason Aziraphale is acting this way. He's blinded by the opportunity to live the life he's always wanted with Crowley. He's simply too blinded by this excitement to recognize that Crowley would never want this, especially because Aziraphale is just so used to Crowley just supporting whatever Aziraphale wishes to do. So, therefore, Coffee Theory is, in my opinion, a gross misrepresentation and oversimplification of Aziraphale's complex character arc, due to its quick assumption that everything about the Season 2 finale is simply the result of the corrupt Megatron manipulating Aziraphale to return somewhere he doesn't wish to go. There are much better ways to describe these events that acknowledge the complex journey that Aziraphale has gone through, one such theory being lie theory. Supporters of lie theory posit that Megatron never offered for Crowley to join Aziraphale in heaven in the first place, instead only offering the job to Aziraphale as Supreme Archangel. Therefore, Aziraphale knew Crowley would never happily let him go. He had to make an attempt to have Crowley hate him, so he would not be missed when he left for heaven, because, surprise, Aziraphale likes being an angel. It makes sense that he would have a return to wish to heaven and be able to make a change, like he says. The only difference here being that it truthfully would be by himself, not with Crowley's help. Just think about it. What reason would heaven have to invite Crowley back to heaven? It's not like he's discreet about his distaste for sides, heaven especially. In this scene, fans have pointed out that Aziraphale is acting similarly to previously in the season when he's seen lying, specifically when he lies to the angels about Nina and Maggie falling in love, and when he lies to the angels earlier about Job's children being dead. His speech is quick and uneven, and he moves his hands erratically, almost as if he's scrambling to make it up on the spot. Not only this, but with Aziraphale's character arc this season, it would make perfect sense to have Aziraphale lie again. Right from the first episode of Season 2, we can see a recurring theme of Aziraphale being not too honest about his behavior. In the first season, Aziraphale was mildly selfish, often performing small miracles to make his own life better, but overall he was a pure soul who only acted in small, unimportant volumes. However, in the first episode of Season 2, not only do we learn that Aziraphale has been allowing Maggie to keep her store for several months without paying rent, but he also makes a point to take records from the store without paying for them. It's not a sympathetic gesture, or at least isn't framed as one. Rather, he's acting purely out of his own interest, and has a mischievous tone that we would more expect to hear from Crowley. So it would stand that Aziraphale isn't quite as pure as he used to be. Many of the flashbacks in this season also relate to Aziraphale doubting his faith, or being tempted by Crowley in several ways. The entire Job storyline has to do with whether God is doing the right thing, and in the end, Aziraphale helps Crowley with his plans to deceive both sides, even though he believes it will have him cast down. Hell, he even lies to the angels in the present day about the whereabouts of Gabriel. One of the biggest examples of Aziraphale, in fact, never having been as pure as we thought he was, is the scene when Crowley introduces him to human food. Aziraphale hesitates, takes a small bite, but before long he's consumed by gluttony, not being able to get enough. It's not referenced in the show, but isn't gluttony one of the 7 deadly sins outlined by fellow Bible fanfiction writer Dante in his work Inferno? And yet, we still believe Aziraphale to be this holy creature who is incapable of lying to Crowley and must be brainwashed in order to do it? Nah, I don't buy it. We've established that Aziraphale wants to return to heaven, and that he's capable of lying to others, even Crowley. But what about how he does it? This is where lie theory takes hold. Aziraphale knows he must return to heaven, but also knows Crowley would be heartbroken and lonely without him on Earth. The only way he can protect Crowley from that pain is to make him hate the angel. He has to come up with a lie that hurts Crowley so deeply that he will not miss the angel while he's away. So he tells Crowley a scenario so baffling and unbelievable that he knows Crowley will refuse. This could be likened to the door-in-the-face psychology trick, which involves asking permission for something by first asking permission for a large item that will definitely be turned down. Therefore, the second true request will be easier to approve by comparison. However, as we know, this backfires because Crowley had something else up his sleeve and would have been in pain in Aziraphale's absence either way, especially after that complete disaster of a kiss. Regardless, lie theory, to me, is the most plausible theory to explain Aziraphale's actions in the final episode. It does what coffee theory cannot, which is acknowledge Aziraphale's complex character relationship with lying and sin, and turn it into a climactic event that can be concluded in Season 3. If you like coffee theory, that's fine. Just respect that not everyone will accept such an easy-to-swallow pill as mind control, and some like myself find them to be disrespectful to the hard work that writers put into developing their complex characters. And if I end up being wrong and coffee theory ends up being right, that's also okay. I just wanted to make my silly, goofy little video talking about Good Omens. That'll be all from me for this video, so I wanted to thank you for staying this long. If you liked this video and want to see more in the future, feel free to thumbs up and or subscribe. It really means the most. If you want to discuss your theories for Season 3, I welcome healthy and positive discussion in the comments, and I do try to reply to everyone in a timely manner. Thanks again so much for watching. This has been Peanut Putter. Stay safe and stay cool, and I will see you all next time.